Hi guys, and welcome to U-Wrench. Today we're back working on the Grand Caravan, the 2008 through 2020 model, with a 3.6 V6 engine. The same engine, of course, is also fitted in the Chrysler Town Country. So what we're going to be doing today is just a quick guided tour of some of the major components around the engine bay. Let's take a look. So just pop the engine cover out of the way, just to give us a bit of a better view. Okay, so starting over in the corner with the kind of biggest component that we have here. This is the air box. Inside the air box, obviously you will find your air filter. The air is drawn in through this tube, it goes through the filter, through this tube, through the throttle body, which is this little unit with a motor on the top here, and you can see this is where the air is actually going to be drawn through into the engine bay. Also attached to the airbox here, we have the power steering fluid reservoir. Obviously that's quite self-explanatory. That's where your power steering fluid needs to go, minimum and maximum markers. Right next to that we have your filler for your screen wash. Again, very self-explanatory. And next to that we have your radiator cap. These radiator caps do actually have a pressure rating on them. This one's 16 psi on this particular car, and that's to help release the pressure if you ever get a build-up of pressure in the radiator. If you have components that aren't working, this cap can release pressure for you, and you can see that goes directly into the top of your radiator, which is obviously this big unit right here. On the back of your radiator you have this large cowl, and in the back there, don't stick your fingers in there, but down in there, that's your main fan there. So obviously that's your main component, your main fan component for the cooling of the engine. You also have this pipe here that comes across from the just below the radiator cap. If you follow that down to the other side, you've got your, this is for your coolant or your antifreeze. This is your antifreeze reservoir, and that pipe actually goes right down. If you follow it down to the side, down in there, you should see that links down into the bottom, right down in there. So that's almost your kind of overflow pipe, recirculates it back into your little holding tank there. What else do we have? The main pipe that we have here, this is your kind of upper coolant pipe, if you like, and that's attached to your thermostat, which is down on the side of the engine. We've produced a video on thermostat replacement. So if you need to have a look at that, I'll add a link for you below. Your thermostat sits on there, and it allows the coolant to flow through. So if you ever have a problem with your thermostat, it's a good idea to check whether this hose is actually getting warm when your engine is running, actually allowing the coolant to flow through as it should. If you follow that through, you can see this goes back into the top of your radiator. So this is the kind of the other side of your radiator, if you like. The radiator has two hoses coming into it, one here on this top corner, and the lower radiator hose is on the direct opposite corner, right down in this side of it, of the vehicle, down there. All your auxiliaries and all your belts are actually on the side of the engine, under these covers down here, and just beyond that. We can see this is your oil filter cap, so obviously underneath that is going to be your oil filter. It can be a little bit tricky to get those out with the air box pipes in the way. It's often easier just to remove that to give you proper access if you're doing an oil change. Again, we're recording a video on an oil change. We'll add a link for you below, so if you find that useful, you can go ahead and check that out. Over at the rear corner there, we've got our brake fluid reservoir, and you see on the bottom, just going through, coming out the bottom of the reservoir into the master cylinder there, and below that, just down in there, that little unit down in there, that's your ABS pump. So obviously all those are interconnected. Quite useful to know where they are if you're doing kind of intricate brake work and things of that nature. On this side, obviously we've got our battery there, and we also have a fuse box in there with quite an array of fuses, and a full guide to obviously what those fuses are and what they control there. So I think that's covered most of the large obvious components that are dotted around the engine bay. I hope that's been useful or interesting for some of you guys. Thank you very much for watching. Please do support us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you again in the future. Thank you.